you get
solid crack.
Did you get that?
Oh, I felt it. I felt it down my spine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast, and it's great to have you here. My name's Luke McCredden, and with me, as always, is Adam Ring. And Adam, typically at this point of the Deep Drop, I throw to you and say, please give us a bit of a rundown, a bit of an explanation, if you will, on what the Deep Drop is all about.
The Deep Drop podcast is like a quality slice of pizza.
Ooh, okay.
When you get a good one, it's the best thing ever. But even if it's a bit shit, it's still awesome. And I kind of feel as though, as you go back through the catalogue and listen to the Deep Drop, I reckon there's a few episodes there that I'd class as an absolute hummer. We've been on, good topics, we're going.
The pizza's hot.
And then maybe, and it's fresh and the crust is crispy and the topping's plentiful and it's just heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's been a couple where we've had a big night before, where a little bit tired, or the topics are maybe not what they should be. And at the end of it, sometimes I'll think, oh, was that one all right? And then I'll listen to it back and go, wasn't our best, but I still had a good time.
Yeah. And so it's the pizza that you've gone, you know what? It wasn't the best, but it certainly did the job. I was hungry.
Yep, it filled a hole. I've got a bit left over for breakfast tomorrow, and I'm happy.
Question without notice: with said breakfast leftovers, heat up or cold?
Cold.
Thank you. This is why we're friends. This is why we are friends. Good. Okay, can tick that one off.
So anyway.
Nah, very good. Yeah, that's not bad.
Deep Drop's like a bit of pizza.
Like a bit of pizza. Okay, that's good. Well done. Well, if this is your first slice of said pizza, welcome. It's great to have you on board. If you go back a few episodes, there is in fact a top 6 pizza toppings, I believe, ads,
Correct.
which caused mass controversy for a while. Fair enough.
Yep.
But if you've been along for the ride, great to have you back. It's a great time. We're having a ball, ads. We are having a ball, and we're only just getting started. Sure, we're 137 episodes in, but I feel like
it's a slow burn, Luke. It's a slow burn.
I feel like the train's just starting to roll, lads. It's a lot of fun. Seriously, thank you, everyone. And if you just genuinely are just checking it out for the first time, Adam, you and I have been in this industry for a long time, and we're very fortunate to call fishing, recreational fishing, our livelihood, our careers, our jobs, and the passion is also a hobby, which is pretty bloody cool too. We've seen a fair bit, whether it be retail, wholesale, the media stuff, even sort of an insight into some of the fisheries. But I think when we came together to create the Deep Drop, this is the pinnacle of everything we've ever done, because we get to just talk about it and we get to involve the Deep Drop community, and that is my favourite part of this whole thing.
It's a growing community. It's a growing community, and it's a vocal community, and it's exactly what we need.
And this is what we need, we want. It's a vocal community. Be as vocal as you can. So that community we talk about is you guys out there, the audience of the Deep Drop, and it's fantastic to see. We hear from you guys every single day, whether it be via a message, via a comment, by someone in the street, or over the phone. Someone might give you a buzz. It's what we do it for. We have so much fun doing this. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We've done a fair bit, in fairness, but we also are not here to tell you how to suck eggs, that's for sure. In fact, we're going to ask you how to suck eggs more often than not. So the growing community you speak of, ads, is, of course, growing rapidly across the social media channels, which is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, bloody Spotify. And we thank everyone for getting on board. Yeah, all of the social. Instagram's been a cracker. We hear from you guys, like I said, literally every day. I'll get messages, whether it's videos to react to, or it's ideas of something we've spoken about recently on the show, or it's new ideas that they want heard discussed. Love it. Keep it coming in. Like we asked on the back of last week's show, ads, about braid. Do you flip it or refresh it? I love the insight we got from everyone out there. Some people are instantly new and fresh. Just buy more line. It's just a no-brainer. Other people have said, I'm a flipper. Loses colour or becomes fluffy, I flip it. Didn't even think of flipping just entered a whole new world. I'm a flipper or put it into a different reel flip. That's not bad.
Ooh,
So you're flipping onto another spool. I don't mind that either.
Yep.
But there's plenty more answers, and that's an example of the sort of questions we will ask every single episode, Adam. And I suppose they're open questions. We don't necessarily give you an answer. We want answers. We want ideas more than anything.
And that's what we want to dive into. This is what we spoke about, 137 episodes ago, Luke, before we started. This is why we've been in this game for so long, because we're still trying to find the answers.
Yeah.
Now, are you a flipper?
No, I don't think I've ever flipped.
Me either. I'm not a flipper.
I've just been a refresher.
Yeah.
Having said that, this whole conversation came off the back of the fact that I need to change some line, and I still haven't.
Yeah.
As I look over at my reels there, they're looking sad, and I need some new line.
Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Flip that shit.
You want me to flip
one?
Let me
know how it goes.
You want me to flip
Let me
one?
know how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know how it goes.
All right, I'll give it a flip, and I'll see. I'll just trial it on one reel.
Oh, and just give me a real quick one session with the flipped line.
Yeah.
It might work perfectly, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to know how you feel as the angler after you flipped.
Yeah, get you.
Are you confident knowing that underneath all of that flippage is a bit of shit braid that made you flip in the first place? Are you happy with that?
Maybe. There's a lot of work involved, the more I think about it, isn't there? Am I right in saying you got to put it onto two double... Yeah, that's fucking too
correct. Which is probably why I've never flipped.
It's probably why I've never flipped. But it's an example of the questions, and we love the answers, so thank you very much. Of course, top 6 is something you'll see on social media, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram ads and Spotify. And if you're not familiar with it, typically in the back end of the show, we wrap things up with the top 6. Now, don't go into that thinking you're going to get some great fishing insights. You're not. But what you will walk away with is a discussion. It's a water cooler discussion, Adam, and I've seen it. I've seen it at water coolers that I've walked past.
Yep.
I've been yelled at. Orange Powerade, you fucking idiot. Oh, sorry, that's just my opinion.
Mate, you don't walk away with any great fishing insights out of the top 6, but you tell you what you do walk away with. Some solid life insights.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about.
Absolutely. We'll get on to one of those life insights for Drink of the Week in just a second because I'm excited by it. The other thing you might see on Instagram is just some reaction videos. Now, keep those videos coming. Love it. We saw a flying fish take out a cameraman this week.
Yeah,
which
big
was
time.
pretty fucking cool. So all of that. And we also get a bit of
I think most penis.
Brooksy's famous one-liner on the deep drop.
Yep, keep him coming, Brooksy. That was a winner. That'll live on forever
It will
through
live
the
on.
channels of
It
the
will.
deep drop.
Absolutely. Until we get you on and speak about
I think most penis.
at some point yourself, that file will just keep on rolling out. But it's a great way to connect with people, ads, and this is why we love it and why we love having you on board. So thank you everyone for joining us. Now the website is somewhere you can also go, adamthedeepdropper.au, all the episodes, all the info, a few little bits and pieces about us. And Adam, over to you to explain the next thing that's on the website.
Click on the merch tab. Check out the combo. If you've been listening for the last probably 100 episodes, you will, of course, be familiar with the combo, but you need a refresher because it's not just any combo. You'd think we'd be talking about a rod and reel. We're not. We're talking about the deep drop cap and deep drop stubby holder combo. And would it be safe to say it's the combo that's taking the fishing world by storm?
Well, what I would say is it's the combo that's taken the world by storm. So you can remove the word fishing. I'm sure I've seen it, on the table there in the White House when those press conferences with Donald Trump. I'm sure I've seen that hanging off a peg off the back there, the cap. But look,
we have threatened. We have threatened to enter the combo into not only the Australian industry trade show, but also the United States trade show. Now, we may or may not have been quietly reached out to by both organisations and said, listen, boys, take it easy. Everyone else needs a fair go. Yeah. Don't enter the combo.
got to give everyone a fair shot. So we said, all right, we'll back away from that.
It's not time.
We have been approached by fashion industry just to walk the the catwalk wearing and holding the combo. But, we'll in Italy, I think was where they were.
Was it the Met Gala?
Yeah. So, look, there's lots of opportunity. But, Adam, what is the combo and where can people get it?
Well, you can always get on the website, thedeepdrop.au. It is, through all the bullshit that we just dribbled about it, it is a quality flex fit cap that has the beautiful green and black Deep Drop logo on the front. Wear it everywhere. Wear it fishing, wear it to the pub, wear it to a first birthday, wear it to a funeral, whatever you need to do, wear it. It'll be accepted in all places and respected. So you'll be tipping that Deep Drop cap regularly as people acknowledge what's going on. That's fact, not bullshit.
No, it's fact. Wear it on a first date.
Do it.
If you want to speed up the process, if you know what I'm saying.
You know what though? Probably save it for the second date, because if you rock up to the first date with it, she's yours forever.
Yeah, that's true.
So
You've got to be sure.
Mate, you need to suss it first. And then, of course, pair that with the Deep Drop stubby holder, which instantly makes every beverage that you've ever had in your life the best beverage. It keeps it cold, it keeps it cool, keeps it comfortable through all seasons. Because even in winter, even in the cold winter that we're experiencing at the moment in Victoria, you still want a cold beer. You still want a cold can of soft drink.
Well, and you don't want to put your
top six. Just saying.
Yeah, you don't want to put your hands on a cold can when it's winter. No. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost
keep your
protecting
hands
you.
warm and your beer cold.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Well done. So grab yourself a cap and a stubby holder. We'll cover the freight. All you have to do is jump on the deepdrop.au and place your order today. That sounded like a bit of an ad. It wasn't. Well, it is.
Easy.
Well, I don't know.
But wait, there's more.
Steak knives. We should get Deep Drop steak knives. Remember?
Steak knives.
Was it Demtel? Was that?
Yeah, Demtel. Yeah, Demtel.
But wait, there's more. Call now, and the first 20 callers will receive a set of steak knives. Wow. I wonder if anyone did. I'm sure people did.
For only 4 easy installments of $35.95.
Yeah. For only 27 installments of $7,000.
That's right. Wait, there's more.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Demtel. Wonder if that, now, drink of the week. Drink of the week, Adam. We kick off the show by cracking a tin or a stubby or a bottle and easing into it as we rip into the show. Now, I'm really excited about tonight's drink of the week. And we there's no secrets because we talked about it last week. And it's not a soft drink, but in the soft drink discussion around top 6, we mentioned Portello. Now, you dropped
number one.
You dropped a bomb. You said you can get Portello with vodka. Mm-hmm. You changed my life forever. So tonight, and then we got sent by several listeners, so thank you very much out there. You know how to reach my heart. I'm rocking the Bilson's Portello and vodka. Just there. Now, just bear with me.
Oh, solid crack.
Did you get that?
Oh, I felt it. I felt it down my spine.
Now I'm just... Oh, my God. It's everything.
Is it as good as what it should be?
It's everything. Just taking a moment. It's magnificent. It's really good. It says on it perfectly sparkling. Adam, it's perfectly sparkling. Do you know what I'm saying?
So correct advertising. Well,
it's what it says on the box.
Luke, I wish I knew what you were saying. So there's a story behind my drink.
Well, hang on. You didn't get a Bilson's Portello with vodka? Adam. You had one job.
With every intention I had. After our conversation through top 6 last week and Portello being unanimous number 1, I thought there's only one choice for drink of the week this week.
Yeah.
So I stopped past my local on the way home from work, and the only Bilson's item I could find in the fridge there was that shitty fruit tingle arrangement that I had way back when. And I had to settle for no Portello.
Yeah.
So I am sipping on a summer ale, and I'm so disappointed in it.
What is it?
I'm saddened.
I
feel let down. I feel let down by my local.
Yeah, you've been let down.
Mate, I'm lost. I don't know. I'm the only thing that's making this summer ale passable at the moment is the fact that it's in a green stubby holder, and all it's done. Mate, I'm lost. I don't know. All I want is Portello Bilsons.
I wish
That's
I
it.
could just hand it to you, but I'm not gonna because it's so good.
Just
I've got a
tell me
second
it's
one.
good.
I've got a second one sitting here on my desk,
Yeah, because they're only little cans.
mate. It is going. Oh,
Those skinny
it is
arrangements.
so smashable. Like I can't even.
Yeah?
I'm nearly through it.
So it's good.
Not even
it's everything
joking.
it should be.
It's everything it should be, and more. Oh, wowee. Beautiful purple can. Yeah, shout out Bilsons. I know you just shout on them about their fruit tingle arrangement. So if Bilsons, but if Bilsons are listening, we welcome them with open arms. It's a great product.
Just not. It's not Portello.
It's not. Wow. Can you just do the show? I'm just gonna.
Well, I can't. I'm too sad.
Oh, I got to stop.
You're gonna have to drag me through this as I sip on my lackluster summer ale.
I feel bad for you, but I don't because I'm just.
It's not even summer.
I've never been happier about this drink. About a drink of the week. This is my number one drink of the week. If we're going to rank them, and we've had some good ones. So, anyway, move on. Hopefully, everyone else out there can enjoy and find themselves a Bilsons Portello and vodka. Well, not if you're sort of driving to work in the morning, listening to this.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to be doing. But maybe
Or,
after
or
work.
pregnant.
Yeah, or underage.
Probably wait. Yeah, that too. Yeah, probably wait on. Just maybe take the normal version without the vodka in it.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a good drop too.
It's a good drop.
Oh, anyway. Now, I haven't actually caught up with you at all this week. So typically, just a bit of an insight into our lives. We'd touch base a couple of times a week, whether it be about the show or about anything, or about what we're watching on YouTube. You've been watching a cracker today.
I have.
That's a members only episode.
Conversation for another day.
That's behind a paywall. If you're interested, it's thousands. But we'll go there. If you want.
It's the reactions you won't see.
But what have you been? I mean, so Adam, you and I record this in Victoria, and it is properly cold and shit at the moment. It's blowing a gale, sideways rain, ice cold, and that's okay. That's what it's meant to be, right?
Yeah, it happens.
That's what we're in. We're in winter, so it's kind of that time where I don't know about you. I start tinkering and fucking around with, my gear and lures and rods and line and bits and pieces. I don't know. Is that what you do? Like, what do you do? What are you up to at the moment? What do you do?
I've got a lot of thoughts, mate. I've got a lot of thoughts.
Yeah,
a lot of thoughts. But what I have been doing, Luke, I've just started receiving my samples for work for next year or for next season's new releases.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm quietly very excited.
Okay. Now,
we'll do a after trade show wrap up. So that is very rapidly approaching. So that is the end of next month where Luke, you and I will both be up on the Goldie, and we will be involved in different capacities throughout the trade show, which is around that time every year. And for those that don't know, it's where every tackle company releases all the new product for next season.
You could be phically holding me up at that show because I will be suffering intense jet lag / hangover.
Because ICAST is back to back, isn't it? It's back with the Australian trade show. That never happens.
I think we land in Australia on Monday, and the trade show's Wednesday night or Thursday kickoff or whatever. So
Thursday kickoff
could be an interesting one this year.
Well, we might have to hold each other up because we'll be at the House of Rapala, and
I've seen Timmy Morgan in action.
It won't be an early night. But
no.
Yeah, so I've
it's
slowly
exciting
started
time,
seeing
though.
some of our samples.
Yeah.
It is. It's awesome. And we have the last couple of years we've done an after wrap up where we break down some of the key items and excitement generating stuff that filters through. But we'll get to that. But something struck me today, Luke, that I really need to get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
And what made me think of it actually wasn't in a fishing scenario, but can be greatly translated too. So I got home from work this afternoon. I was already down in the dumps because I couldn't find the drink that I wanted. And I got out of the car and it was raining.
Yeah.
And
it's not a good start.
No, I instantly thought, this is shit. And you know what it made me think of? How many times have you heard this phrase when talking to any fisherman? I can deal with the rain. It's just the wind that makes it impossible.
Yeah.
I want to know, is that true?
It's a great question. Is it a throwaway line? Because when it comes to crunch, if the wind stopped and it pissed down rain, you'd be complaining still.
Correct.
There is definitely merit to it. Wind fucks everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't
But
it?
I could argue so does rain.
Because that same... Oh,
You're good?
yeah, it's just gone all fucking weird. Did yours glitch out then?
No, it paused for a second, but it
I'll just make note of that timestamp.
Yep.
Sorry. You got me?
No, all good. Yep, all good.
Because wind fucks everything, really, doesn't it?
It does. And it is heaps harder to fish in wind than it is rain.
Yeah.
But I could argue wind is more comfortable than rain. So
Maybe.
what? So
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah. You're not getting soaked to the bone by
no and
wind,
and
or, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And depending on the wind, like the wind can be icy cold, and that it's going to be shit. But even in the summer,
Well, what about
the wind is no good?
What about this? What has ended your fishing? What has ended more fishing trips? Wind or rain? Like, and what I mean by that is, yeah. How many times how many wind knots do you need? How many times are you casting against the wind, or how many times can you not keep your drift right, or it's chopped up the bay or ocean?
Times harder.
Yeah,
a million times harder to fish in wind. I'll acknowledge that.
yeah. But no one wants either. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. No one wants either.
Well, I guess all I'm searching for is the acknowledgement that rain's still shit. If rain was warm, if rain was warm, do you reckon?
Well, funny you say that, because there's an argument, I think, for wind. As you know, and as we've spoken about on the show, recently I've been in the top end, far top end, in fact, north of Darwin on the Tiwi Islands. And we, on the last, well, actually both trips, have ventured out offshore for one of the days, and it's blown its absolute arse off, which is annoying. But for some reason, you're still warm and like comfortable, and it's just it's just kind of annoying. So it certainly does not put an end to the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if it pissed down rain, it'd be still warm, but you'd be less comfortable because you'd just be wet, and it'd just be like, not that you'd be cold,
Yeah.
but just like, do you know? So I reckon there's argument for like that far top end wind probably doesn't. Don't get me wrong, it's still annoying as shit. No one wants it, but it's like,
yeah.
we cop winds off the fucking Antarctic.
Yeah. Like
You
proper.
know, ice, Antarctica,
cold. Yeah.
and it rips through you.
It's like straight through you.
So there's nothing that's good about that. When it comes from the south, it's just fucking don't even bother. Just stay home, chuck the heater on.
But I just love it how you can. I reckon 100 out of 100 fish shows, every single one of them would go, yeah, nah, rain's not too bad. I can deal with the rain. I think that's the bit that gets me. I can deal with the rain.
No,
but the
no,
wind
they can't.
ruins everything. No, you can't.
They can't. Because once it starts raining, you go,
you can't deal with it in your home waters. Because when I was up at Mondi, we fished in torrential rain for a day and a half, and I was locked in. I was all right. But I think because it wasn't bitterly cold.
I was going to say, were you cold? That's the key. No, that's the key. That's the difference. Like if someone from, shout out to our listeners from Queensland, Northern Territory, sort of mid-north coast, New South Wales. If you come down and fish Tassie or Victoria, and there's a bit of a breeze, like it's knocking you over. You're going home.
Yeah.
You know, it rips. There's nothing you can wear that'll stop that wind from ripping through your soul.
But that's the thing. It'll find any exposed bit of skin and remind you that you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, so you're right. It's definitely a throwaway line. We've all said, but there's argument that we can't handle the rain. I can handle a bit of rain. Nah, probably not.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to.
I guess it's a preference. Would you? All right. Well, let's ask that question. Here's a good one for the community. Would you rather fish in wind, no rain, or rain with no wind?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just, would you rather fish in wind or rain?
I think I'd still pick rain. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't for a second pretend that it's awesome. I wouldn't be going, I'm soaked to the bone and I'm cold, but at least it's not windy. You wouldn't hear me say that.
No. I think I don't even know. I just don't want either. Fair weather fisherman, but I've fished in plenty of rain. Oh, having said that, I've fished in shitloads of wind too. So, and it depends what sort of rain you're talking about. Is it that misty sort of light stuff that's just a bit annoying but doesn't really soak you, or is it the stuff that is wet? I call it wet rain. It's the rain that wets everything.
Everything is instantly wet. And
you can have the best sealed tackle bag in the world, and you open it and it's a fucking puddle in there. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
Shit starts getting slippery.
Yeah.
And it's just you're constantly thinking,
and
is this worth it?
You get back home or to your, to camp or wherever you are, and you just realise as you're stripping layers off, you're literally wet through to your nuts.
Yep.
And no one's enjoying that. So yeah, what would you prefer? What can you tolerate more when fishing, wind or rain?
Wind or rain.
Yeah. It's a good one. I'm keen to hear the community on that one. I've been fucking around a bit with lures ads the last few weeks, or last couple of weeks.
Nice. What do you got?
Well, I've just been mucking around with. There's a couple of things. Squid jigs. So I think people might have seen on the socials. Just been mucking around with squid jigs. You know this. We love squid. We talk about it all the time. We squid fish all the time. And mate, it's all. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to say something that's completely wrong here, but is it the one species you can fish for everywhere in Australia, almost all year round? I'm talking coastal Australia, obviously, ads. Like, we're not saying... I mean, the squid fishing in Eildon hasn't been red hot lately.
No, it's been better in the past, but I reckon it's probably come to flogging. No, I mean...
It's overfished.
It's overfished. We need to get fisheries on that. We need some management for the squid in Eildon. No, I'm talking about, like, up north. Like, say in like Darwin, for example. Can you get squid up there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have those tiger squid or whatever they're called. No, what are they called? You know those ones with the... Yeah, but they do, definitely. Everywhere. I'm saying everywhere.
Or do they just have heaps of other cool shit they don't bother?
No, they've got some cool shit. No, we sell squid jigs. The sell-through on squid jigs.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah. There you go. But, look, certainly not a first to mind when you think about fishing in Darwin, is it? But
no.
It is doable. So...
I'd say, the all of coastal Australia year-round squid. Pencil it in.
So, yeah. I mean, that's why it's, I guess, back to our original point. It's front of mind for us at this time of year because it's one of the most probably gettable species and doable in a short window where we don't have to sit out in the cold all day. But I think it's I've just been mucking around with new jigs and got some new ones and
all right, so talk me through
cleaning up some old ones.
Talk me through that. I'm interested in this because if I'll go through and start tidying stuff up, there's always the internal wrestle of why is this even still in here? I'm never going to use it. Or
that's a battle. Yep, that's an internal battle.
Or it's I've caught heaps of fish on this in the past, but haven't used it for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Should I go back to it? Am I missing out by...
Yeah. See, this is where I reckon... See, and this is a great discussion of lure fishing in general, because I think, like, even just... do you know what? I don't use white squid jigs very often anymore. But maybe there was a period there of a couple of years where that's all you needed.
Yep.
So why don't I use them now? Surely nothing's changed as far as them being, like, attractive to squid.
No,
it's just me. But it's attractive to the angler.
Correct. And you've nailed it. And I think that's the answer. out of all of the squid jigs that you've got in your collection and all the stuff that you deal with for work on a daily basis, you look at a plain white one and go, oh, boring.
But fuck, it catches.
I know. It catches.
You know?
It catches so many, and you've caught so many. I've been there with you, and we've both caught so many on them. Yet you look at it and go, oh, I don't want to. I don't want to have to use the white one again.
To your point about the internal battle with, looking at, and we're just, I suppose, like I said, this goes across all lures, but if we're talking squid jigs just for this argument, I've got colours that I know I'm not going to tie on. I'm not going to tie on unless I'm either desperate for nothing's working and I'm just desperate to try something, or I'm absolutely braining them and just go, fuck, I'm going to chuck this on and see if it works. But I'm
not going to risk losing my good ones.
There is a 99% chance I'll never ever use them. And it's not for any fault of those particular jigs, and I know they all on their day work really well. But so why do I have them, Adam? I think I've got a problem.
There's so much. There's so much this, because I reckon there's a couple of things, right? There is nothing more satisfying than opening up a tackle tray or whatever you keep your lures in. And this is relevant to not just squid jigs, but we'll stay on the squid jig thing because that's kind of what we've been talking about. But there is nothing more glorious than opening up the case of squid jigs and seeing lots of jigs.
Yeah.
There's nothing more satisfying than that. No. If you were to open up one tray and it had 6 reds, 8 whites, and a couple of like hybrid blacks or something, the stuff that you'd look at it and go, well, this box is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Yet they're the ones you're going to use 95% of the time.
Correct.
Because when's the last time you put on a lure colour across any species in any lure? When's the last time you put on a colour and had a session on it where that colour that was an oddball has now worked its way into your everyday rotation?
Oh, yeah. I reckon there's plenty of examples of that.
I'm not talking like the white squid jig that got so popular amongst everybody that we all gave it a run because we kind of had to. It was being spoken about so much. I'm talking about a colour that you'd heard nothing about, that you just picked up out of the box, and it's now a colour that's in your regular rotation.
I reckon I definitely think it's happened with squid jigs. I think it's happened with trout lures.
So what colour?
Oh, in squid jigs, I reckon would be, because to your original statement, whites and reds and that, we all, it's what we do. I'm a massive gold fan because I remember putting it on and just having instant success way back, and now it's definitely just in my rotation of the first 2 or 3 jigs that go on and get run. And they'll get a gold will get a run every time.
The original Hayabusa brown and gold was my first within working in the tackle shop, and at the very start of the big explosion of all this new wave of squid jigs. Mate, it was a brown and gold Hayabusa, closely followed by the cherry, which was years after. And I even remember the staff at the time going, "Don't sleep on the cherry jig," and we're like, "Nah, it's not brown and gold." And all of a sudden, red become everything.
I mean,
everything.
But then, right? Why? Because I also asked myself this the other day. I grabbed some jigs out and I'm looking at it, and there's, Haramitsu AR.
Yep, solid.
Which is just so solid.
Yep.
But it's the first one I tell myself, that's the one. If I only had one, that's the one. Why don't I have 5 of them?
Because we get sick of looking at it. Like we do.
Yeah.
We do.
So we can be our own worst enemy when it comes to fishing.
Yeah.
Particularly lure fishing.
So let's run a real quick exercise, me and you here right now. Right. What has been the specific lures and colours in squid jig that have changed the game? The ones that everybody fixated on that really got the squid train rolling. So we had that Hayabusa brown and gold into the Hayabusa cherry, which then turned itself into AR Haramitsu.
AR and RR, I think, were the two sort of... The AR was the one, though. It had the sort of the green back pattern on it and the red foil.
and the red foil.
At some point, and I don't know, I can't put a date on it, but the Chimera white Cephia went mental for a while.
Yeah. There was a little patch there where... Do you remember the Gancraft dead butterfly?
I haven't heard Gancraft for a while.
It was short. It was a real short stint, but
Yeah.
it was this one Gancraft jig that was like probably dead butterfly from memory, kind of silvery, black back stripes, but it had pink dots, like pilchard dots on it.
Yeah,
and I think
okay.
they called it dead butterfly for some reason.
There was a little phase where, and I don't know whether this was more of a group that, this was actually back when we were in the shop ads. There was a group that went nuts for a while on the Daiwa nude, the grey. Oh, it was like a grey or silver and black.
Laser Kibanago. That's 100. Laser Kibanago. It had the blue highlight on the back with the black lateral line, and it was silver.
And a pearl diamond on the back, I think, or something.
Yep.
That went nuts for a little while, but I don't know how widespread that was. If it was just
and I think that Gancraft jig, same deal. It was in that maybe the localized pattern, but you're right. Definitely the white Shimano Cephia Chimera jig, which is held on. And then, what brand would you say was the black?
Because that was the other one, the black.
Yamashita?
Yeah, I feel like, did Shimano do a black one as well? Was there a Cephia black as well, or was that just the white? I know they did other colours, but the white.
There was.
I can't remember what the black.
There was a black one.
There was a black craze. Yeah,
popular.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Black was weird. I think that just became a universal. Just buy a black one. It doesn't matter what it is. But then, I feel as though those others were put on the map by a specific brand.
Yeah, and I do think that there's also, and this isn't probably brand specific, but there's also argument for our South Australian listeners that chartreuse colour is all they need.
Or Qantas,
which is
redhead.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not in my rotation, but I've got one because I've got too many jigs at them. But the chartreuse, yellow, lemon, whatever you want to call it in South Australia for some reason is the absolute one.
Yeah,
but which is kind of weird because it's not a go-to here in Victoria.
Well, there was a rundown here fairly recently. I think it was another Shimano jig, or it might have been an evergreen jig, banana.
Oh,
I don't know if it was.
There was a couple of versions,
yellow with brown tips. I think the Shimano one might have been chartreuse top and tail with a more clear belly.
I'm interested to see if there's a new craze that kicks off ads because I know that we actually spoke about this. I was trying to find the episode, to be honest, and I can't remember. But I'm saying it was in our first 30 or 40 episodes. I know that's still a big chunk of episodes, but I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Remember when at the Osaka Tackle Show in Japan they released, or there was vision going around of the Daiwa jointed squid jigs, and we spoke about them at length because we started talking about, why stop there? Like, can you get squid jigs, swim baits, and blah blah blah.
Swim baits, yes.
We have now got those jointed squid jigs in market in Australia.
So this is interesting. I haven't seen them yet, and I know you've played around with them a fair bit. So the join is, I guess, in the neck of the jig, but the body, it swivels up and down, not left and right.
Up and down, correct. So it's sort of like porpoises, like a dolphin. So yeah, it's like the head of it basically is where the join is, and then. So
does it dart still, or is it more of your slow, like lift and drop?
Well, I got hands on some samples before they arrived, and I was doing more of a slow action with them, and they looked pretty spectacular in the water. I haven't really played with them much more than that, but I do believe you can still give them a fair jerk and they'll dart. I do have. I'll get your hands on some, mates. I'll fix you up. I'll fix you up. Because they're cool. I just love the concept of it.
They're
something
cool.
new.
Yeah, that's right. It's different, and it's different.
Exciting. So, and there's a bunch of colours there that are a bit cool, that a bit different too. So, I'm keen to see if I think there's.
Okay, that's mate. You got me on a roll here now. So, as someone who's responsible for buying squid jigs for a very large company,
yeah,
do you want to see funky new colours, or so let's use these dial ones because I've done a little bit of buying in the past. Definitely nowhere near the scale of what you're doing right now, but. And again, sticking with squid jigs, if I'd see a new jig come in with a colour range that didn't have our traditional sellers like a solid gold foil, red foil, white, black, I almost wasn't interested. How do you approach it that way?
I think you have to have, what would you call them? Your staples.
It's just the staples.
Your staple colours. So, and even referring to this range we're talking about with these dial, they're called amorous squid jigs. If anyone wants to have a look at them, there is a chimera white, there is a jet black, there is a redhead white body, and there is a what is called raging red, which is very much a red foil, sort of the darker greeny sort of patterns on it too. So for me, you've covered it, right? That's fine. Everything else is a bonus.
Is extra.
So,
yeah, that's right.
So there's
everything else is the potential of a new run.
There's a colour called mandarin. It's an orange head and a sort of I guess a clear body with a white cloth, orange mandarin cloth. So I'm like, cool.
Interesting.
Let's fucking give it a whirl. I'm in.
Yeah.
Glowhead glow stripe is another one I'm fascinated in. It's basically a white head, which the UV reveal is pretty spectacular too.
Well, in the nudes, there was a glow stripe that was quite popular.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm just a sucker. So, but you're right, and it's got to have the staple colours, and it does. And I think most ranges do. You'd be ballsy to bring in a range that doesn't have at least one or two of those colours, I reckon.
You'd be downright silly.
Well, yeah, but it's also like I don't want to.
I'd love to know.
They're all gonna get it done at some point.
I'd love to know, and one day we'll get to do this. I'd love to go overseas. So where do you think would be the biggest consumer of squid jigs? Like Asia?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd love to go over there and go, okay, give us your four absolute, not specific colours, but give us what are the four most popular shades that. Like exactly what we just rattled off.
Yeah.
Starting with that gold foil into red and then massive white and then black and everything else is just making up the numbers.
Yeah. And
I wonder if that's universal everywhere.
Yeah, but different. As in there'd be three or four. Oh, are you saying the same colours would be global?
I wonder. Wow. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I wonder if we went overseas and went to a country that, say, sells incredible amounts of Haramitsu and said, AR, I wonder if they'd look at you and go, fuck yeah. Or huh?
What? Oh, no, that's in the clearance bin.
Yeah, no. We discontinued that 3 years ago.
We sold all our shit stock to Australia.
And if not, I'd love to know what those colour combos are. What is it?
Yeah. Because the good thing about, I think the great thing about Australia is that the colours that are the hot colours, whether it be squid jigs or, are hot because they get it done. It's not just because it looks cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's no argument in there's.
Oh, I don't know.
But I mean, a black squid jigs and a white squid jig, they don't. It's not like you just buy them because they look unbelievable. They just get it done.
If there was a say a nude style jig, and what I mean by that is no cloth.
Yeah.
So it was just a red bodied jig. No one would buy it.
Nah, you're right.
It's got to look sexy.
100% it does. It has to. But then you look at a King Brown Laser Pro.
Yep.
No one that fishes offshore in the southern part of Australia doesn't have four. Like, you know what I mean? But then it's hardly a sexy colour.
Yeah, true.
But it fucking just works.
True.
Rapala, spotted dog. I mean, there's not much to it. Yeah, there's not much to
with some
it.
bigger spots.
But you cannot not have them in your tackle box.
That's true.
But there's definitely that's do you know what? It's probably a minority really. If you broke it down entirely across all lure ranges, there's probably, there's, let's just say, 30,000 SKUs in lures. There's probably not that many that are in that same realm as. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Spotted dog,
Definitely.
King Brown, like AR, you know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
So I think you're right. For the majority, it's sexiness on the lure wall.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of buying them because they look cool and never using them.
Oh, that's our whole
That's
industry.
what you do, isn't it?
Like our whole industry, like it seriously, like it needs it to happen. Like it relies on it.
Sorry, just to say, I don't want to rub it in, but going for round 2, they're just so good. Such a good can crack too, right?
It is. Yeah.
It's good.
It literally has everything going for it, doesn't it?
Except for that it's not in your hands.
You're correct. And it doesn't fit in the green stubby.
No. Well, you know what? Suck on these eggs.
It doesn't fit. It's like throwing salami down a hallway.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't even know where we're at. Do you know? Oh, I wanted to talk to you about something because I know that on monthly rezos you've got 2 kilo salmon. Well, no, sorry, we've got.
We have correct.
We've got
Thank you.
2 kilo
Thank
salmon.
you.
I was thinking about because we complain a bit in Victoria.
A lot.
We got some
I do.
some of the best gut. Like when you talk beach fishing, especially lure casting, I think in this case, mate, you fish the south coast of New South Wales and you've got gutters at your feet, literally. So you're really not. You can do little backhanded casts and get salmon, like 4 kilos. No, but I was thinking about here because there's 2 things. One, you've got to get some distance in your casts on a lot of the surf beaches on the coast of Victoria. 2, some of the gutters you're fishing, funnily enough, are actually quite narrow, and you've got to be pretty accurate with your casts. And then you've just got to get in the zone, and sometimes that zone's not in the first few inches on the surface. You might need to sink it. It got me thinking about not moving away from, because I'll always do it, but casting metals and thinking outside the box a bit. And what I'd love to do, but I've got to, and this is where I've got a bit of I've hit a hurdle, is cast sort of 90 or 100 mil minnows. Problem I've got is that clearly don't go the distance. That you don't have the casting range as you do with a big heavy metal. Are we opening
Wrong.
up? What?
I can help you out here.
No, but this is what I'm saying. So there's got to be lures on the market, and I know where you're going with it. But B, are we in a position to start thinking about, like, say a 70 mil minnow or something, like a slim profile, something you'd potentially typically chuck around in estuaries or in the bay or whatever? Are we getting to the point where we might need like little chin weights or attachments?
Well,
to add some weight?
This is the interesting part of it, because the weighted minnows that you can cast exist, but they're 100 mil minimum.
Yeah, and
90 to 100, 42 grams to 45 grams. So you can cast them. The problem is a bibbed minnow that's that heavy, you got to wind it. Slowing it down is not an option, because the second you slow it down, the body weight takes over, and it doesn't give the bib a chance to really catch. I do like where you're going with essentially a heavy
add-on
lure.
weight. Yeah. That's kind of where my mind goes. Something you'd more inclined to chuck around for a trout or a brim, that you could get out into the zone where you need to. But let's be honest, you're not getting it anywhere near it with the current sort of state of play, and that's fine. Is a chin weight really just it's going to bury its head into the sand once you start swimming, and it's not going to swim right?
Yeah.
Are there things you could add to attached? I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because I'd like to. Thing is, right?
It's interesting.
Metals get it done. We know that.
Yeah.
There are options out there that are a bit bigger, chunkier bodies too. I'm thinking more of a slim body, but there's plenty of casting options on the market. There's no doubt about that. I guess when I was just going through it, and I'm like, geez, I'd love to cast that into the surf. And you go, I'm not going to get it anywhere near where it needs to be. So I was just having a bit of a moment, and I just thought I'd bring it to the table.
What about
Even just as far as development, could
what about a bibbed jig head?
hang on, a bibbed jig head.
So if there was a jig head that had a bib on it that you could put your own swim bait style thing on, like a small paddle tail, but you had the weight in the jig head to get the distance.
Not bad. So
and
essentially, you could almost
added action from the bib.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as like a hard body, like a minnow, that you can clip weights onto that isn't just like hanging off a treble or the chin or the split ring at the front? Is there anything that you?
Where would you clip it?
But then you just start fucking with the swimming action, so it's almost like it needs to be built. It's time to get into the development again.
Okay, what about this?
No, this is what we're here for. There's no dumb ideas.
The thinking about it now, a bibbed jig head might be pointless because you're not relying on the jig head for the action. You're relying on the plastic. So there is heavy jig heads. You could do that straight away. Bibbed is probably counterintuitive. What about weighted trebles?
Tungsten trebles.
Or so you've got, say, your 70 mil trout lure, whatever it is, say, I don't know, pins minnow.
Yeah.
How much weight do you reckon what do you want to turn it into? Do you want to make a 60 mil small minnow weigh like 40 grams?
25.
That might be hard.
25.
25?
Yep. Okay, yeah, manufacture that, please, Adam. So, I'm after a 70 mil hard body. Here's one. I'll use that for trout, but I need to cast that. I need it to be 25 grams in weight. What can you do for me?
Honestly, I reckon maybe the most efficient way, it wouldn't be pretty, but a barrel sinker down to a swivel, then run a long leader off the swivel so that you're trying to keep the weight away from the lure so the lure can still work.
So
but
like a downrigger sort of situation. Or a live bait rig.
Or like remember those trout torpedo sinkers?
Yeah.
Like a trolling sinker type
sinker, yeah.
Or maybe
drill a hole in the hard body and fill it with lead.
Now it's just a pretty sinker.
Weighted trebles is interesting. There's some technology we need developed.
How much wire would you need? Like, that weighted like wire shit. How much would you need to put on the shank of a treble to make it 35 grams?
I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try it.
Or an assist hook. So a single assist off the back, but you put like a number one ball sinker on the cord.
Can we reach out to Marling Baits?
He'll get it done.
Now, I don't know if anyone's not familiar. Marling Baits
you
is
should
someone
be.
that Adam, you put onto me on YouTube, and
it's the greatest.
He's a legend, and he makes lures. He's one of those insanely talented craftsmen when it comes to this stuff, who I'm incredibly jealous of. But he makes some good stuff. He'd be able to make something.
Oh, I wonder.
Let's reach out. Seriously, I'm not even mucking around.
So we need we need specs. Come up with the specs.
Okay.
We need how long? 60? 65? Or are you going 70?
Let's go 70. I was just
70?
looking at some reference lures. Hang on.
So what are we in? Are we in like what profile? Like double clutch profile? Like thin?
Yeah. Yes. That's what I want. 80. No, let's go 70. Let's go nice and...
70?
70.
Yep. No, 70. Yep, 70. So 70 mil.
70 mil long.
Slim profile.
Slim profile.
Like a 1.2 to 1.5 dive depth.
Yeah,
just enough to
yep.
sit it under the breakers.
1.5. Let's say 1.5. Round it off.
1.5, but it needs to
25
weigh.
grams. Or 30. Does it need to be heavier than 25? Is 30 the sort of the magic number?
We need a 25 and a 35.
Okay, we're doing a range. Yeah, I like it. Okay, good. All right, that's so it's 70 mil.
So there's the one pager sorted.
Done. All right, we'll see what we can come up with. This won't be a quick journey, people. Anyone following along, this is going to be
It might be a never-ending.
Could be a marathon, but we're going to get there. All right, ads. I reckon it is time for a bit of this.
The deep drop.
Top 6. That's a big statement right there. Well, we've hit a theme. I don't know if you've noticed this over the last few weeks, ads, but we've hit a theme which is I'm not proud of, but we've done it unintentionally, I think, and maybe it's a winter thing. We've spoken a lot about shit food lately. We've spoken about soft drinks. We've spoken about not chips. We spoke about pub meals. So maybe it's time of year. I don't know. But we've kind of come up with a similar thing tonight, which I guess we'll roll with it and we'll start moving into some healthier options as we go along. But tonight, it's the top 6 fast food chains.
So something that a fisherman and a travelling fisherman is very familiar with. We tend to be on the road travelling at shitty hours, whether that's to or from, and you just need something to tie you over until next day or end of session, whatever it is. Now, I think the rule's got to be for top 6 fast food. We're talking at their best. We've all had plenty of fast food. We've all had some really shit fast food. And then every now and then, from the biggest chains in the world, you'll go and grab something and it'll just be awesome. The bun will be soft, the meat will be warm, and the sauces are at perfect ratio and everything's kind of dialed in. The chips are perfectly salted, not too crispy, not soggy, just everything's nice. We're going to go with the best they have to offer, which could be a solid 6 sometimes, but the best they have to offer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm happy for you to lead the charge tonight, ads with number 1, because I don't know. I'm actually not sure how we'll go as aligning. We align a lot. We have some arguments about some things, but let's see how we go. So okay. kick us off.
All right. I'm going to go with an easy one for me at number 1. So number 1 on top 6, Guzman.
Oh, really? Number 1.
Number 1. And now there's a reason. I've never had a shit one. Whether it's a taco, whether it's an enchilada, whether it's a burrito, it's never been shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a great reason to have it number 1. And this isn't ranked.
But at the same time...
This isn't necessarily ranked, as always. We just list them out. But
That's right. And there's kind of an asterisk there. It's not the fastest food.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that's okay.
You know
but it's
what I
still
mean?
in
like
that classification.
It's in that, yeah. So I'm going to go with Guzman.
I don't know how to spell it. I'll have to Google that later.
And there's more words there, but I don't know how to...
Can I let you in on a little secret? I've only had it once.
What'd you get?
Oh, fucked if I know. But it was good.
Get a chicken enchilada.
Yeah, it was
Make sure it's not on the
sort.
run because you're going to have to sit down and eat it. Or if you're on the road, Cali burrito.
We were in Cairns, actually, of all places. This was only a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Solid. I rate it a lot.
All right, I've got my number 1 is actually my number 1. I know this isn't a ranked thing, but I'm just putting it out there on the table for everyone to be involved in. And if this comes out and they get it right, it doesn't matter what you have. It's just so good. So, number 2, schnitz. It's
best chips in the business.
It can be so good.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's a hard yes from me.
Yeah, good.
Schnitz.
Give me some schnitz. What?
Schnitz.
Just for reference, I love a wrap. A schnitz wrap.
Yep.
And there's a million flavors, but just something. I don't go too over the top, but but give me a chip. Jesus Christ.
Oh, the chips are unbelievable.
What do they do to those chips?
I don't know, but it's just pure goodness.
All right.
I'm a little bit ashamed of this one, but I'm rolling with it. Number 3, Macca's. I love Macca's.
No, it's got to be there.
I love
right?
Macca's. Now, listen, there is a massive pendulum swing between absolute dog shit and really good, and you will experience. It is a proper roll of the dice.
It's a
proper
has
roll of the
more
dice.
of a gamble in fast food than McDonald's.
Correct. It is the biggest gamble every single time. But I just love it.
I must admit, if they get it right, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got like a go-to?
I do, but I kind of muck around with it a little bit.
Yeah. You live dangerously.
I do, but I will say, I am a fillet of fish fan.
I will say this about Mackie D's: there isn't a food that is faster.
Correct.
In terms of delivery, when you're at the window, if you're driving through, and B, there isn't a food you can eat faster. You can smack down a burger so fucking dangerously fast.
Yeah, depending on what it is, because a Big Mac will fight back.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Number 4, Subway.
Bit of subbers.
Yeah, a bit
Don't
of
mind
Subbers.
it.
Yeah.
No. I'll roll with subbers.
Rarely you walk away completely unhappy.
Correct.
More often than not, it's satisfied, full, happy days. Get yourself a little cookie on the side, if you know what I'm saying.
Why not?
Of course you would. Not an idiot.
That's right.
So
do you tend to pack the Sambo full of accompaniments to the point where it's hard to close it?
I'm not actually. I don't go that hard. I should. Nah, I don't. I like it. I like the honey mustard sauce at the end when you're just doing a bit of a turkey or a ham. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm a
bit of
Southwest
olives, bit of
Chipotle.
pickles,
Oh yes, Luke.
bit of tomatoes.
Bread.
This is I don't know. I'm just a white guy.
Oh, Luke, you are speaking my language.
Really?
You see everybody. Italian herb and cheese. Italian herb and cheese. Italian herb and cheese. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's a tasty bread. I like it. But white, toasted. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
This is why we connect. This is why we connect.
That's why this show works.
Why we do this show. Fuck yes, Adam. Fuck it. I thought you were challenging me there on bread.
No, not at all.
I thought you were setting me up.
Not at all.
But
Nope.
you're not like that.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right. What do you got for us at number 5, my friend?
Number 5 is another guilty pleasure. The pendulum can swing in a vast variety of ways, but it's worth rolling the dice. Number 5, KFC.
Yeah. Good. It has to.
Has to.
But get it right. Oof.
I find KFC is probably one that... It's probably the one on the list that could incite the most rage.
All right. Talk me through the rage.
There's nothing more disappointing than getting an under-seasoned, soggy KFC chip.
All right.
Because I feel as though that's where everyone sort of goes. Everyone will say they've got the best chips.
I'm going to stop you for a second. What I'm hearing tonight, and I'm on board with this, if this is where you're at as well, the chip decides a lot.
It does.
The chip tells more of a story than anything on the menu in any of these places. Is that fair call?
Yep.
If you get the most succulent chicken at KFC, but your chips are soggy and lukewarm, you can throw the fucking meal in the bin.
Correct. You're instantly unhappy, and I feel as though KFC has the most to it's the highest gain, but also can hit the lowest of lows with the chips. See, because a Macca's chip, and I'm a fan of a Macca's chip. I really am. Macca's fries, but
Yeah.
the bad ones are shit. The good ones are good, but it's not KFC. It's make or break.
Yeah, the spectrum is. Yeah, it's risky. Because
it's a huge risk.
It can ruin not only the meal but your day.
Yep. Your
Probably week.
Yep.
You contemplate quitting your job, selling your car, because if you've gone through the drive-through and you've got a couple of, it's the car's fault. You start getting all these thoughts.
It's KFC can be very rewarding.
The thing that the difference,
They can be rough.
I mean, we could talk about difference in these chips for a long time. The KFC chip, you really indulge in one chip at a time type scenario. Macca's, you're more of just a handful.
Just a handful.
Yeah, just shove them in. You could finish a large Macca's fries in 4 or 5 handfuls.
Well, yeah, you could. But also, KFC is the only one on the list solely out of convenience, not through quality of chip. It's the only one where you could be satisfied driving through the drive-thru and just ordering a large chips.
100%, thank you. You're not doing that at Macca's.
No,
You're
not at all.
not doing that anywhere. But absolutely.
But if Snitz had drive-through, you would detour to get some Snitz chips.
Oh, 100%. You know what's satisfying? When you order just a large chips at KFC drive-through, and where you pay at the first window, you also get the chips out that window because it's all you've ordered. It's a win. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, let's round this thing up because we've
spent way
waffled
too
on.
much time on this.
Way too much time. We're up to number 6 to round out the top 6 fast food chains, and for me, number 6, Zambrero.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you go to? Cheese quesadilla?
No, it's a burrito bowl. I love a bowl arrangement.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting a bit lazy as I get older. I can't be fucked with a big full burrito and me, just gobbing that thing down. So I just like to open it up
What do
into
you
a
do
bowl. So yeah, hit me with Zambrero. I'm happy with that most days of the week. I don't eat it most days of the week. I'm just saying I would be happy with
just
it.
saying you appreciate it. Yeah.
There's not much they do wrong. It's good arrangement of ingredients and toppings and whatnot.
I can't say I've messed with it a hell of a lot.
Do yourself a favour. Get in there.
Listen, might have
Let's
to
go there together. Let's make a day of it.
burrito bowl
Maybe we visit all 6 and just see
in one day.
in one day. Oh my god,
That could be a rough evening.
How many do you reckon you'd get through before you felt full? So, I mean, I'd stop at Snitz number 2 and just go, I'm done. I'm satisfied because
you get quite a lot too. Like Macca's, you need a minimum 2 burgers.
So maybe you
and a
start
large
with
meal.
Macca's then, and that's your entree because you can knock that over pretty quick and still be hungry.
Yeah.
What's happened to us? Can we get?
Are we actually coming up with a game plan to try and knock off all 6 in a day?
Yes, we
Should
are.
we try it?
I don't know. I feel sick thinking about it.
Yeah,
But
it's no good.
we need to wrap up. It's been a big show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Grab yourselves a Bilson's Portello because, fuck, it's so good.
Grab me one too, will you?
Yeah, get Adam one because he's bloody missed out. Salmon lures. We'll work on that. But also the question, which I've forgotten, which we're going to ask. We had a question.
We've had everything. We've had everything in this episode. Luke. For those that'll never know, because you're unbelievably good at what you do, we've battled technical difficulties. We've had shutdowns. We've had shit freeze. And listen, the community will never know. And it's probably a good opportunity, Luke. Tip of the deep drop cap to you.
Oh,
You're the one that puts all this shit together and makes it sound half decent. And good fucking luck tonight because it's going to be a
mate, I'm
grind.
dreading it. I've already decided in my head I'm not touching it tonight. I'm going to bed.
It's a tomorrow problem.
It's a tomorrow problem, and it will be a fucking problem. Anyway,
Correct.
top 6 fast food chains. What did we miss? What's on the list? What's on yours? Let us know. Are you hitting up any of those? I'm pretty comfortable with all 6 of those, to be honest.
I'm happy.
and tell us if you've hit them all in one day. It's an achievement. We don't encourage it because it could be very dangerous. So it's by no means we think you should try it. But
and if you're gonna, make sure the last one's at home base because you're gonna need the toilet.
Or you're gonna, especially if you're finishing with a sombrero fucking
Burrito bowl.
Oof, clear the room. Righto. Thank you. We will see you all real soon. Thanks, Ads.
Peace.